Hello, everybody. How are you? My name is Jackie, and I'm the yoga teacher here, and I'm going to be guiding you through a chair yoga class today. So that means you won't need any other equipment than just a chair. Make sure you're comfortable, and you want to move your chair in a position where you can move your arms to the sides and you can move your legs out a little bit. There will be an opportunity at the very end of class to perhaps get on the floor, but you won't need anything to do that. So let's go ahead and begin. Once you find yourself situated in your chair, you want to go ahead and really ground in. So that means we want to feel feet on the floor, seat in the chair, and then back, gently stretching back into the back of the chair. So we'll be doing several practices today. I want to give some guidelines. You could close your eyes and just take these in. This is really a class that's all about mindfulness. It's a class that invites us to keep our attention on what we're doing, just doing one thing at a time. We're going to be practicing different types of mindfulness. We'll be practicing breathing exercises, movement practices, meditation, and other awareness practices. Mindfulness means really having your attention on whatever you're doing without judgment. So noticing and being curious about whatever opens up as we go through the practice. However, if there is something that does not agree with you, something that does not work for your body today, or your mind for that matter, I encourage you to stop doing that practice, let it go, rest, and then perhaps join me for the next practice. So the idea would be that you find some things that are helpful and then also notice the things that really weren't helpful. This is not a one-size-fits-all practice. So please don't judge yourself if anything didn't work for you, and that includes breathing exercises. Those can be challenging for some, and they can cause kind of the opposite effect that we're going for. So just make a note and then move on to the next thing. The other thing is I encourage you to modify anything in a way that might work better for you. Be gentle with yourself and take this time for self-care and for self-awareness. Let's go ahead and begin now, officially. So I will be cueing you to close your eyes at times, and if that doesn't work for you, you can keep your eyes open. But I'm going to go ahead and close my eyes now. As I close my eyes, or maybe I just take my eyes slightly downward, I want to begin by just sensing and feeling my feet on the ground. So however that works for you, you might wiggle your toes or just lift and lower your toes and heels. And simply just feeling that connection of your feet to the ground. Feet to the ground. And then just move your attention up to where your sitting bones are resting in the seat of the chair. And feel your sitting bones resting on the seat of the chair. And now bring your attention to your spine. we want the spine to be nice and upright, right? So you're lengthening up, not hunching forward, but also you're leaning gently back into the back of the chair. So you feel this sense of being grounded and also supported. Now, I'm just going to invite you on your own now to go back through these 3 points 2 more times, starting with your feet. In this way, we're anchoring our attention in the present moment by using that connection of our body to the chair and the floor. So what does that feel like? What does it feel like to be sitting here grounded and supported? And now I'm going to invite us to let our attention move into the space that's around us. So recognizing that you're here in a room, wherever you are right now. And within the 4 walls, there are sounds. So what sounds do you find, really without looking, but just by starting to listen? So listening now to the sounds. And you might also be aware that there are sounds beyond the 4 walls. So you might hear the sounds that are further away. Now simply bring your awareness back inward or toward where your body is. And just feel the texture maybe of clothing or shoes, jewelry. And then notice the temperature as it touches your skin, maybe your hands, maybe your nose. And then is there anything else you notice? Anything else that's coming to your attention just about sitting right here? So using your senses. And this is how we arrive and bring our attention right here where we're sitting. And this is an important practice simply because the nature of the mind is to wander. And sometimes the attention gets stuck in the 60 to 80,000 thoughts. So this is an opportunity to really focus on what we're doing right here and now. And then just notice how that feels. So in the first practice, we used our body as an anchor, the chair, and then our senses. So when you notice that you've wandered away into thought, you've got lost in the past or future, worrying or planning, you can release again and come back to the present. So what anchor is good for you today? You could also repeat the words, I'm here now, silently to yourself, just as a reminder. Now let's take our attention to our breathing. So as your body sits in the chair, your breath is breathing you, and then I just want you to become aware of it. Notice that you're breathing in and you're breathing out. And that it really requires no effort. But also notice that you can witness your breath, just like your body and the sounds. So the breath is another very common anchor in mindfulness. It's really simple because it's always there. So now I'm going to begin to guide us into changing our breathing. We know that changing our breathing affects our experience from the inside out. It affects our central nervous system in various ways. Again, it's not one size fits all. So I'm going to guide us through several different practices here. And just do the best you can, see what works and what doesn't work for you. And I'll explain each one. So just take a moment. I had to readjust my posture, and you might have to do the same, just so that you're upright and also grounded and supported. And for the first practice, we're going to take what I call a grounding breath. So this is a breath that can be helpful just for kind of bringing you down from being up in your head, just like it sounds. So in this breath, we're going to count, and the exhalation will be slightly longer than the inhalation. I'm going to give you a count of 4 in, 6 out, but you could change that based on your lung capacity. Okay, so relax. The yogis breathe with the mouth closed. I get that question all the time, but you don't have to breathe that way. Let's begin now. Eyes could be closed if you like. Silently and slowly now, count in for 4, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And out for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In for 4. Out for 6. Now could you continue on your own for these next few breaths? And notice what's happening even to your in-breath as you extend your out-breath. And then on this last one, also notice when you extend your out-breath, how that affects your mind and body. And then when you finish, go ahead and relax. Keep any tension from building up in your face, mouth, jaw, shoulders, chest, and belly. And let's continue with the next practice. So the next one is called balanced breath. And then we'll even the count here. So same in and out. I'm going to be guiding with the count of 4, but you could use 3 or even 5. In this breath, we want to smooth the breath out and create kind of a gentle wave. Eyes could be closed if you like. Next in-breath, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. And on your own now. Try to make this as effortless as possible. Just letting one breath flow into the next. Maybe 1 or 2 more. Now this breath could help you create the feeling of steadiness, the feeling of presence, the feeling of balance, contentment. So just notice how you're feeling now as you just breathe normally. Just let go of the counting of your breath. All right, we'll come back to our breathing later in the class, but for now, let's start to move a little bit more with our body. So I've moved my feet up, but I'm gonna take 2 feet to the ground now, and I'm gonna move my seat further forward in the chair. So I'm still sitting nice and upright, but now I've got my feet grounded and my spine lifted. And I'm using a little bit more effort here. So if that's available to you, then go ahead and do this with me. All right, feet are on the ground, rooting down. Seat is nice and firm in the chair. And I'm just gonna rock slowly. And I wanna feel kind of a sense that I'm not gonna fall off, right? So I'm gonna go really slow and I'm just gonna rock, right? Left. I want you to be really aware of not holding your breath. Left. And one more time each way. So just this feeling of gentle movement and then coming back to center. Hands come to the thighs now. Let's move the spine around a little bit. So pressing down, we'll round and tuck the chin. Pull the belly button in and up. Just feel the stretch come into your spine. And then we'll go the other way. So pressing down through the feet, squeeze the shoulder blades, chest forward, eyes and chin up if you can. And you're gonna pull the shoulders back. Okay, I'm gonna invite you to do that one more time each way. Rounding. Lifting. There's no hurry here, right? So we're just moving slowly, really listening to our body and just kind of seeing where we can go. And then sitting nice and upright. Okay, now let's go ahead and let our arms dangle at the sides. Feet stay grounded, seat stays grounded, palms turn up. Let's lift the right arm and bring it next to the right ear. And then if you can, move to the left, as far as you can to the left. and then back. Just the way you came, but very slowly. And then wiggling your fingers. Just take a moment to feel the tips of your fingers on the right side. Do you notice pulsing, throbbing, temperature? Okay? And left arm up. And some of you, your arm might not go up all the way. Just notice that. Pull it in close to your ear and then moving toward the right. Take a deep breath in and out. Really feel what's happening. That's the whole point. And then extend back out and down. Challenge yourself. How slowly can you move? Now feel the tips of your left fingers. Okay, now both arms. Palms up. Roll it up. You might be able to touch your fingertips over your head or even your palms, and then slowly back down. Take a moment to feel the tips of the fingers. One more time each way. There's nothing complicated going on here, right? This is just about being right inside the movement, connecting with the body. Hands now come to rest on the knees. Now I'm going to start to hinge forward. So I'm going to bring my upper body forward toward my lower body, my elbows up, and then I'm going to look down toward my feet. If I can, I'm going to let my head kind of hang down. This is letting some blood flow toward your prefrontal cortex. That's the mindfulness part of your brain. Okay, and then press down and slowly rise up. Now just, if this makes you dizzy, right, you're gonna take care, but you're just gonna notice and then sit all the way back up again. Take a deep breath, hinge forward, let your elbows kind of turn out. Upper body to lower. Now pause here, look down at your feet or at the floor, and then can you release into what I call more of a waterfall? And then I'm just going to move my head in little circles. This could feel like a nice release for your shoulders, your spine, your neck. Take a deep breath in and out. And feel the ground. And then as slowly as you can, start to come back up. Reorient with a nice tall spine. Fix your hair if you need to. Hands and feet are grounded, feel that. And then take your right hand to the left, your left hand behind you in the chair, and without lifting, just twist into your upper back and neck. And you'll listen to your body. And breathe in and breathe out. Your body is a good source of wisdom. Inhale and exhale. Are you listening? Okay, release that out. Hands and feet are grounded. Now, other way, left to right, right behind. Breathing in, breathing out. What does it feel like to be in a twist right now? Okay, releasing that. Now feet on the ground, but slide them a little bit more forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and then bring your hands behind you. Okay, and then squeeze and then press your heart forward. Lift your eyes up. And take a couple of breaths. Fill your lungs here. There's a really different feel when our chest, our heart is open in this way. Kind of invigorating. One more breath. Okay, let's release that and let's shake it out a little bit. So we don't want our arms to get fatigued, right? So we're gonna shake our arms out a little bit, hands and fingers. And then let's bring our hands together, interlace through the fingers and just press the palms forward. That'll give you a nice stretch for your wrists, fingers. Good, and then palms to the sky if you can. Stretch those inner arms underneath your arms, armpit area. Okay, and then round, push your hands forward, feel that stretch wherever you feel it, and then one more time up. Good. Now wiggle the fingers around and just slowly, like you're working through water, lower your arms down. Oh, I can feel lots of tingling, a little bit of heat. Close your eyes, what do you feel? So many sensations, just opportunities to pay attention to what you're doing. Good. All right, now let's focus on our legs a little bit. So keep your right foot grounded, lift your left foot up off the ground if you can, and start to just turn your ankle. You'll turn one way and the other. And then holding onto the leg, and you can do this holding onto the back of your leg too, make some circles. So you can draw your circles bigger, smaller, and then I'm going to rotate them the other way. You can even start to move from your hip joint here, loosening things up a little bit. All right, then I'm going to take my right ankle or my left ankle, cross it above my right knee. My spine is away from the back of the chair still. I want to feel nice and grounded first, flexing my left foot to protect the knee, and then I can go a little more forward. And I really have to feel here to see what is happening. And then I'm going to pause and breathe. Let your breath be deep, right? All the way in, all the way out. It's a really nice opportunity to explore what does it feel like to take more of these diaphragmatic breaths. One more breath. Take your time with it. So diaphragmatic breaths are kind of the breath of safety. If we do them slower, they help our nervous system to be in that kind of rest and digest mode where we feel safe in the present moment. Let's lift up now for tree pose. So just pressing from the ground, lengthen all the way through from the inside out. Feel that. Take a deep breath. And exhale, release. Good. Place the left foot on the ground. Let the left foot be grounded now. Pick up, hold on to your right knee and start to twirl slowly. But probably something we don't pay attention to that much is our ankles. Okay, and then maybe start to make those circles. I'm going to go a couple times one way and a couple times the other way. And if it feels good today, I'm going to go a little bit more into my hip, and then I'm going to cross the right ankle above the left knee. Spine is away from the back of the chair if you can. If you needed to, you could lean back. So modify. So this is my definition of self-care, right? You listen, you get the message, and then you respond, all right? Hinge forward if you need to, flexing the right foot, and then When you get as deep as you can, you're going to just take a couple of breaths. Good. And then using your grounded foot, that would be your left foot today, you're gonna, or in this moment I should say, take tree pose. So that means we're just gonna extend from the ground up all the way through to the fingertips. Good, breathing, feeling this sense of tree. Good, and then exhaling out and down. Good, releasing the arms, taking the right foot now, placing it on the ground. Now, if you can, I've taken my feet wider apart, toes pointing out, heels pointing in. I'm sitting nice and tall, and then I'm gonna go ahead and bend forward, kind of coming with my upper body through my knees, and then I'm gonna see if I can go all the way in and just kind of reach my hands a little further forward. See what this feels like in your hips, hip creases, and lower back. Kind of move to your edge and take a couple of breaths. Good. And then press down through your feet and slowly work your way back. Hands come to your knees. Now point your toes forward, but you can keep a little more space between your feet if it feels good. And then we're gonna make some great big circles. And I like to encourage you to close your eyes and just really work your way through this a couple times one way, a couple times the other way. And just loosening things up. Good. And then bringing yourself back upright to the center. Let's go ahead and either sit back in our chair in a more comfortable position, or at this point you could choose to join me on the floor. Now, don't do this if it's not the right thing for you, right? Check in with yourself. Can you easily get up and down, right? If not, just go back to your chair and sit comfortably with support. So I'm just gonna move my chair out a little bit like this. And then I'm gonna go ahead and lift my lower legs from the knees forward up on the seat of the chair. Okay. If you're uncomfortable getting down on the floor here, it's okay. Go back into the chair. You'll be able to do this meditation and breath work from sitting up in the chair as well, okay? So don't worry about it. Now go ahead and let yourself settle wherever you are. So if you're on the ground, you're gonna start to let the spine sink down and let the legs relax. And if you're sitting, you're gonna lean back into the chair. And I have some folks that like to take a second chair and lift their feet up, so you get that kind of light feeling in your legs. So please take a moment and just settle here. You may close your eyes if you like. Now, the feeling here is we are finished with most of the movement. So start to let yourself get settled, grounded, and begin to relax. So notice in your body where you might be holding tension or tightness. Are you holding any tension in your face? In your eyes? Or maybe you're clenching your teeth. Or gripping with your jaw. Try to let that go if you can. Just by becoming aware of it. And then also feel the tongue just dropping to the bottom of the mouth. And then notice, are you carrying any tension in your neck or shoulders? And if you notice tension there, you might be able to relax it even just a little bit. You might not. Don't judge. Just be aware. And then notice if you're carrying any tension in your chest. Around your heart. What would it feel like to relax there? And then start to become aware of your abdomen. Are you holding any tension in your belly? This is a big area where we carry a lot of stuff. So if you feel that, just see if you can soften or relax your belly all the way in. And then notice your hips, glutes. You may be able to at least unclench or soften your glute muscles a little bit. And just let the pelvis kind of soften and relax. The thighs, let them be at rest. The knees, the lower legs, the ankles, feel your feet and toes, the bottoms of your feet, and let them soften in your shoes. Now bring your attention to your spine in your back. Feel your spine relax deeper into the ground or in toward the back of the chair, letting all your weight come back or down. Feel the muscles around your spine beginning to just relax all the way down. And then all the way down the backs of your legs. So your legs and feet just flop out. Now just be aware of your body here. Let your body relax. Let your body be at rest. Let your body be still. In the stillness of your body, once again, be aware that your breath is moving inside your body.
and it's moving outside your body. The next time you breathe in, can you breathe into a soft belly? And then can you breathe out through your nose and let your belly relax? You can always place a hand here if needed. Breathing in, belly fills, breathing out through the nose, belly softens. And I'd like to invite you just to rest here and focus on maybe 5, 7 more of these breaths, if you can, comfortably, or rest if needed. Take a moment and check in and just ask yourself what the feeling is from the inside out. You might recognize that in this very moment, you feel safe enough. All is well in this moment. All is well. Notice whatever is here without judgment or expectation. This is a lifetime practice. With that, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Start to be aware of your surroundings and who's next to you before you come down. If you are laying on the ground, you're going to start to slowly bring your knees into your chest, or just get your feet down on the ground. And then roll carefully to your side. It doesn't matter which one. If you're still in the chair, you could feel your feet on the ground and start to sit up a little taller. Take a moment for a mindful breath and to very mindfully come back into your day, coming back up into a seated position. Wherever you are, if you're comfortable, bring your hands together and give yourself a little nod of gratitude for being curious about this practice of mindfulness, for doing what you could. And I hope that you now have something that you can take with you today. Thanks everyone so much for sitting here with me on video today. That'll be it. And I hope to see you live soon. Have a great rest of your day and take care.